What's up everyone, Clark Glassford, founder of My Practice Interview, where we help you land your dream job. And today I want to talk about the steps, the building blocks you need to start with as you gear up for a recruitment process. So as you start thinking about jobs you're going to be applying for, or a promotion is coming up, or a role you know is on the horizon, you need to start with some foundational blocks to build your confidence as you get into that recruitment process. And I say build confidence because I'm talking about self-doubt that applicants bring when they start thinking about going through recruitment processes and start talking themselves out of diving in, getting their resume out there, going to interviews. And I want to give you an example. I was recently working with a client building a resume, and as I'm trying to draw out skills and abilities and experiences to put into that resume to impress the hiring manager for the position they're going to be applying for, the client says to me, "I feel like an imposter." And the shocking thing about that statement was it didn't actually shock me because I've heard it before. I've heard it with clients that I've worked with. I've also felt it myself when I've gone through recruitment processes, feeling like I'm kind of an imposter. I feel like I'm going to get in front of that hiring manager and they're going to look at me and they're going to say, "You know, what you said sounded really good, but you know, at the end of the day, all I see is fake, phony, fraud." Now, for one, no hiring manager is ever going to say that. I've never heard anybody say that to an applicant before. But it's that self-doubt that you bring with you and that baggage that you bring with you in thinking that the skills and abilities I have really don't add up to much. And I'm here to tell you today, they absolutely do. And the way you can prove that to yourself is by following this little system that I have that I'm going to walk you through right now. And I want you to think about your preparation for any recruitment process you're going to go through as baking a cake. So when you bake a cake, there's really 3 steps. First step is you got to get your ingredients in order. You have to have all the ingredients and in order to start baking that cake. Step 2 is you have to follow the recipe. Following that recipe with the right measurements and the right ingredients to put them together to start making that batter. Step 3, you put that batter into a pan, put it in the oven, and at the end of the day, what you're hoping for is a cake that turns out that's absolutely delicious. Recruitment processes follow the same type of principle. So in a recruitment process, your ingredients and getting those in order, that's getting your skills and experiences in order. You start at the very front end before you do anything else, before you start looking for jobs, building resumes, preparing for interviews. You've got to get your skills and experiences in order. You've got to get them down on paper so you're looking at them and you can actually see, okay, I've got some stuff here. I've done some awesome things. I've done some fantastic, cool stuff that I want to make sure I highlight throughout this recruitment process. And the way you do that is, you'll see in a video link below, a video to a tool that I use called the 360-degree view of you. And it's a tool I use with all my clients. And it starts that skills identification. It starts that experience identification in your education, your work experience, your volunteer work, and your life accomplishments. It gets you to put pen to paper to identify the skills that you have. And when you go through that exercise, what you're going to see very, very quickly is that, yeah, I've done some awesome things. And yeah, I want to make sure I talk about these things. So that is the start. That's getting your ingredients in order, which is your skills and experience. The next part of the baking process, of course, is taking those ingredients and mixing them into that batter. Well, the batter in the recruitment process is your resume and then your preparation for the interview. So because you've identified your skills and experiences, you can now start building that resume because there are things that you've identified that you want to make sure with skills and experience that go on that resume that are highlighted for a hiring manager to see. So as they're reading your resume, they're going, yeah, this is somebody I want to bring in for the interview right away. The next part of the batter is, of course, your preparation. And your preparation in all of this is key for that interview. So with the skills and experiences that you've identified, you now want to start drawing on some of those to say, okay, when I'm in that interview and I'm asked interview questions, what things within the grouping here do I want to talk about? Do I want to make sure I highlight for a hiring manager? And I want to tell powerful stories to connect with that hiring manager. So at the end of the day, they're going, this person is absolutely fantastic. We need to hire them. The baking process in this scenario here is, of course, attending that interview. And now that you've done the previous steps that we've just talked about, you're walking in with ultimate confidence. Yes, interviews are nerve-wracking. I understand that. There will always be some nerves at play when you go to an interview, but you've decreased those nerves in a major, major way because you've done all that preparatory work. It's an awesome way to approach the interview process so that when you get to that interview, you're ready to just rock it. And that's the baking process. And then of course, at the end of the day, the eating of that delicious cake, that's you hearing, you're hired. So as you see, I've just walked you through a step-by-step approach. And so many people, they cut corners on that approach, or they don't put the thought into it in terms of what they need to do each step of the way to really make a really positive impression with any hiring manager, starting with your skills identification, building that excellent resume, preparing for the interview with powerful examples, great stories that you can connect with the interviewer to hear at the end of the day you're hired for the role that you wanted. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's a really great way to start thinking about what you need to put into your preparation process, and it works like an absolute charm. So use it. I go through this stuff with my clients. It works. People get hired as a result. So in the description below, you're going to see a couple things. One is a free download to my ebook called My Practice Interview. It's a step-by-step approach to how you go about getting ready for an interview process. You're also going to see my workshop called the Interview Accelerator. Fabulous workshop. Again, it's that step-by-step approach in great detail. It's in video format, walks you through the 360-degree view tool. It walks you through your resume, how to construct a resume, cover letter. It actually has resume templates that you can use to populate with your own information. Then we get into the types of interview questions that you could be asked, how to respond to those questions, and then all the insider tips that I have that I've seen mistakes made by applicants and how you can avoid those mistakes. That is worth the price of admission on its own. So check out that workshop. You'll absolutely love it. Again, if you like the video, share it, comment. We respond to all comments. And of course, like I always say, happy interviewing.